Kind Voice Radio.
Welcome to another edition of A Kind Voice on Music. I'm your host, Kenny Fulton. I'm so glad you've taken the time out to join us once again for another amazing show with another amazing guest. You know, I tell you guys all the time, I love what I do. I love music. I love every aspect of it. So I took the time today because I wanted to explain a few things to you today about our guest. And so I took the time today I wanted to define music. I wanted to look up the definition of music. Music can be defined as an art of sound in time that expresses ideas and emotions in significant forms through the elements of rhythm, melody, harmony, and color. I say that today because my guest is not a singer by right. He's not a musician by right other than using the instrument of his vocal cords. He is a spoken word artist. And, you know, so I brought him on today because he has some amazing tracks. He has some amazing messages in his music, you know, and yes, it is music. I call it music because according to the way music is defined, you know, it's just using sounds, you know, using color, using rhythms, you know, anything that we use that will bring about a certain feeling I consider to be music. So, you know, some of the tracks that we're going to play today have music backing him in his spoken word and some don't. But whether they have, you know, musical instruments backing them up or harmony or melody, I still consider it music because he's bringing about a great message and he's bringing about a certain feeling in us. And that, to me, is what defines music. So I have this awesome gentleman on. His name is Jenson Mentor Cox. I want you guys to hear something from him before I actually bring him in. This actually is one of my favorite songs that I had an opportunity to hear from him. It's called Junkyard Dog. So I want you guys to check this out, listen to it, give it a good listen, and then we're going to get right into talking to my man, Jenson Mentor Cox. Let's go ahead and hear Junkyard Dog.
Give me my money.
No, I said no.
No, I want my money. I said
no. Now get out of here.
You went and did it. I might need that money tonight. I've never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son. Oh, it's the worst one. This is a big one.
Yeah, I've been thugging it out for too long. It's time for a change of the guard around here. Let's get back to that good old southern backwoods country fried steak, collard greens, and mac and cheese type of funk. You dig?
Doing this for the sake of the kids and the daughters and the mamas who came out of my ribs and the sons and the fathers locked up doing the bid. Hip-hop took a turn and twist. Red Fox and Mr. Cox is a hit. Got the gift of gab. Found swag I never knew I had. I never knew that would make you mad. I never wanted to follow the fad, but you gon' get up and dance cause you was put in a trance. Go ahead and thank me in advance and take a chance on this new movement. This is exclusively for the grown and sexy party and responsibly. Now take your brother, grab your first cousin and your son and your nephew, and grab your Uncle Junior too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. The junkyard, the hall, family and friends, whether you rolling the Benz or you ain't even got to take your sister. Grab your third cousin and your daughter and your niece, and get your auntie Dee too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. The junkyard, the hall, family and friends, whether you rolling the Benz or you ain't even got ends. Some of my friends are kinfolk. Some of them got money, some of them really dead broke. Some live a great life and some of them on dope. Some of them love to fight and some live like the Pope. Some of us move far away and really get ghosts. Some of us rock microphones and be doing the most. I keep it close if you my family holding me down. Bringing the junkyard flow to each and every town. Black, white, red, or pecan brown. It's a time to be serious and a time to clown. I won't judge you and whatever you're working with. This is the big one. I'm coming to live again. Grab your first cousin and your son and your nephew, and grab your Uncle Junior too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. The junkyard, the hall, family and friends, whether you rolling the Benz or you ain't even got to take your sister. Grab your third cousin and your daughter and your niece, and get your auntie Dee too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. Whether you rolling the Benz or you ain't even got ends. And related by blood. This is me showing you love, cause I got too many cuz to name all of you in one 5-track. It's like 300 of them and I admire that. What's up with the reunion? See, I'm on that. Wish I could have my grandma and granddaddy back. Put my family in the Bahamas on the map. Tatted on my chest is aqua, yellow, and black. And at the bottom of my heart is a bar hard. Sitting my peoples over there, they knew me from the start. Hey, what time did to us? It's like we fell apart. If we gon' come together, we gotta play our part. Take your brother, grab your first cousin and your son and your nephew, and grab your Uncle Junior too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. The junkyard dog, family and friends, whether you rolling the biz or you ain't even gotta take your sister. Grab your third cousin and your daughter and your niecey, and get your auntie Diddy too, and hit the dance floor with your flaws and all. The junkyard dog, family and friends, whether you rolling the biz or you ain't even got ends. Hey, I got next on that domino table. You don't want none, you don't want none. Hey, is that your sister-in-law trying to line dance with the cast on? Hey, I got Brazils on that chicken coming off that barbecue grill. I'm just saying.
Hey, my man, what are you doing? Hey, Ronald, what's happening, man? Look here, I want to ask you a question. Does that look like wild parsley to you? You mean that marijuana?
Yes, man. Look, that track got me dancing, man. That you ought to be dancing, bob your head up, man. If you're not bobbing about to that song right there, man, have somebody check your pulse, man. That one right there is hot. Listen, listeners, please help me welcome Mr. Jenson Mentor Cox to the show. Mentor, how you doing, man?
Hello. How's you doing, man? It feels good to hear that track.
Man, look, oh, good, man. Yeah, man, that is a feel-good track, man. I mean, that leads me right into my first question, man. What was the concept behind Junkyard Dog?
The concept behind Junkyard Dog is, well, you know, we have family. Everybody has family. And we also have family members that we haven't talking to in years, let's say a brother or a sister or a mother and a father. And, you know, I wanted to bring families together with the track. I wanted to create something that we can do line dances too. I know line dances are at weddings and stuff like that. And having people, you know, sitting up against the wall, something to bring it. That's
awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the feeling and the vibe that I got. Like, just listening to it, man, I mean, it took me, you know, like, you could close your eyes, man. I'm listening to the words you're saying in the cut, man, and, you know, it takes me to a place, man. Like, I can, you know, just go to a particular place, man. It takes me to, you know, like a family reunion or a family picnic or something like that, man. And, you know, it's just one of them cuts that are just really, really awesome, you know. So, man, what an awesome track by my man Mentor Cox. And you know what? Let me go ahead and jump into another song here real quick. The song is called Transform. I really want you guys to hear this song by Jenson Mentor Cox. The song is called Transform. Let's go ahead and hit Transform real quick. We'll be right back with more of Jenson Mentor Cox.
I'm a poet. Poetry's transforming me, right?
I'm a poet. Poetry's transforming me, right? I'm not even who I am yet. And in the grand scheme of things, I can finally catch my dreams from a destiny of a plan set. It was written like hieroglyphics in the clouds. To be more specific, I couldn't decipher the codes. My insecurities were too loud. But at some point, my innocence cannot be forgiven like an adolescent child. See, I won't be young forever. And learning on the fly signifies to never say never in this cold world, butt naked without a sweater. I didn't know much about the struggles of a legitimate go-getter. I had to take baby steps before I can walk in my destiny. The whole time, though, it was another set of footprints in the sand walking next to me. So after years of frustration and temptation getting the best of me, and procrastination and stints of incarceration getting the rest of me, it was hard to see or comprehend that this was just a test for me. Old people, places, and things is a pretty stagnant recipe, but the beauty in learning how to cook is you can always change the ingredients. Every time I stay obedient to discipline, a certain level of amazing kicks in. Call it the transformation from Jenson to Mentor. The challenge was to get both of them on one accord. Silly of me to think that I can do that without incorporating the Lord. It was the one missing ingredient that I didn't have before. The birth of this poet emerged from homelessness, jail time, and addiction, washing away my sins and hanging them on a crucifixion. Somebody nailed my microphone, a pen, and paper to my hands without permission. Then I used that blood dripping down as ink to make a whole nation listen. Listen!
I'm not even who I am yet. Still trying to remember things I promised not to forget. Red or blue pill, I ain't decided yet. Truth and illusion ain't collided yet. Hard to look forward to the future while staring at the sutures. Trying to forget the pain, but the scars remain. You know, the uglier the oyster, the prettier the pearl. So when you see a pretty girl, know she's been through hell. They say big girls don't cry, but I stayed with Kleenex. Rose from the ashes, call me the phoenix. I done came a long way from a suicidal teen. Turned those nightmares to dreams. I'm bursting at the seams. I've outgrown these statistics, and I'm over quick fixes. So I write these poems with the conviction of scriptures. I'm hungry, and it's dinner time. I'm a feline turned canine. I'm liberating minds like poetry did mine. I live through these lines. I'm a lioness in a lion's den. I got a life sentence. I'm forever with this pen. So tell them I'm guilty. Beautiful things grow from dirt. My past is filthy. So imagine when Mentor says I'm a mentor. This is what the struggle was meant for. I go the distance like I was sent for. I was born to transform. It may rain when I brainstorm. It may rain when I brainstorm.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Transform. Man, listen, I want to ask you a question, man. When did you first fall in love with spoken word?
I fell in love with spoken word poetry when I walked into the Literary Cafe and Poetry Lounge back in 2008. I met a guy by the name of Will, the Real One, and he inspired me, man, just by everything that he was doing there. And I started off rapping. You know, I thought I was a rapper. And what I learned about poetry is that it has a lot more substance and creativity, and it's more in-depth because a lot of the rap music today is lacking that substance. So I gravitated toward poetry then, back in 2008, and the rest was history.
I hear that. So did you feel that you weren't going to be able to be the same person in rap that you are in spoken word?
Well, I don't believe that I would have taken it as serious because poetry literally transformed me.
Okay.
And also I had to go through a lot of different life experiences, ups and downs, and incarceration as well. And I just was not ready to carry that mentor name when I was, in my early 20s. So after going through a lot of experiences, it allowed me to fully get into my purpose.
Oh, I hear that. And the song that we just played, man, Transform, a lot of the words in the song are speaking of, from what I get, a release through the poetry. Is that something that you feel that you're getting? You know what I mean? Is a release and a transformation through the poetry?
Yeah, well, the poem kind of is designed, if you notice, we both start off on one level, kind of soft-spoken, and then it gradually got stronger. We wanted to end the poem on a stronger note to literally transform into, to have the art of spoken word poetry transform us is what we wanted. And it builds us to who we are today, which is stronger human beings.
Yes. I definitely got that. I mean, man, there was something that you said in your verse, which was like a higher level of excellence or something like that you said, which, man, I thought was amazing. It hit me. And then the last line that the young lady said was, "It might rain when I brainstorm." Like, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just.
Yeah, her name is
like,
Mary Rain, and that definitely hit home. She has released several books down here in South Florida. She's absolutely on fire in the poetry scene.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I definitely felt that inner man, and I could feel the transformation, but I could feel the release, man. You know, and that's what I got from it. You know what I mean? Was there was a release in every pen stroke. You know what I mean? Every line that you guys dropped, I felt, you know, a release of something. You know, you guys both talked about your past and both talked about your triumphs and, you know, coming over some things, and I could definitely feel, you know, the transformation within the words, man. So awesome track.
Right. It's about empowering yourself, and you cannot become the person who you are today if you didn't go through something. So that's what poetry allows us to do. It allows us to release those pains, to release our past, and to embrace everything that comes along with doing so.
Right. And, man, I think you're doing an amazing job of that. What an awesome gift, man. Listen, we need to take a quick break. Let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll be right back with Jenson Mentor Cox.
Hi. We're not sorry we missed you. Your call really isn't that important to us. But if you leave your name, number, and a brief message, a computer will record your voice, and a tiny red light on our phone will flash until we cover it with a piece of tape. Bye now.
What are you really saying to the customer who can't reach a real person? Help your business rediscover the lost art of human interaction with Ruby Receptionist, the virtual receptionist that does what no voice machine or ordinary answering service could ever do. From our offices in Portland, Oregon, Ruby handles all your calls with a perfect mix of friendliness and professionalism, making your customers feel special while making you look good, just like a full-time receptionist at a fraction of the cost. Try Ruby free for 14 days. Visit callruby.com, or better yet, call us, 866-611-RUBY.
You've seen the paintings. The Thanksgiving turkey being served at Grandma's.
Can I have the drumstick?
The weathered farmer sending his baby-faced son off to college.
Now be sure and write.
The wise police officer sitting at the soda bar, talking a young boy out of running away from home.
Where are you going?
Norman Rockwell didn't create the best in us. He just inspired the best. Inspiration. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hi, this is Tim from Team Trivia, and I really hope you're enjoying your weekly Team Trivia questions. The good news is the fun isn't limited to a kind voice. We have live shows all over the country where you can put all your knowledge of random or weird facts to use. It's completely free to play, and the best part is that there are great prizes. And if you're in charge of planning your company's holiday party or diversity training seminars, give us a call. With an impressive resume, including the Atlanta Braves, the Home Depot, and Delta, we can handle any corporate event needs for you. If you're in the Atlanta area, check out teamtrivia.com. For all of the regions, go to playteamtrivia.com. And call 1-866-5-TRIVIA when you want to book us for your next event. And be sure to mention you heard this ad on A Kind Voice to get 10% off.
A Kind Voice Radio.
Welcome back to A Kind Voice on Music. I'm your host, Kenny Fulton, here with Jenson Mentor Cox, talking about spoken word and how it has transformed his life, how it has helped him overcome some things. And this next song that I want to play for you guys is actually the song that I believe brought Jenson and I together. It was the song that was creating so much buzz on social media that I felt the need to reach out to this gentleman and, get him on the show. So the song is called The Bully Within. So we're going to go ahead and play this right now, and we're going to talk about, the bully within and some anti-bullying campaigns that Jenson and I are both a part of in social media. So let's go ahead and hear right now, The Bully Within.
Every day now I'm gassing my head up and telling my fragile ego to stay strong. And every day now I'm robbed of my dignity with no sympathy as to why my lunch money is all gone. I mean, are they really taking it, or have I become so weak that I practically give it away? Have I now become addicted to punishment, or will I finally stand up for myself today? See, this fight was brought to my own front doorstep, and tired of getting treated like a floor mat no matter what I do. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. You pick your friends. Your enemies always picks you. So now I'm exercising and lifting weights. I got to get rid of this bird chest and earn my respect. I can hear the Rocky Balboa theme song in the background, man. I am ready to release some stress. You see, the same guy has been bullying me every day, and every day I keep on failing the same test, and I'm tired of trying to figure out who to blame next. About to checkmate this fool like a game of chess, bringing his bullying house down like a domino effect, because he's always attacking the ones who are quiet. Finding myself being inspired by the story David and Goliath, eating confidence and putting my fears on a diet. I hate being a human pinata when I operate on autopilot. Sometimes I hate being anti-violent, but what I hate more is being a victim to this tyrant, always boasting and bragging. I show enough, had enough of show enough from the last dragon is what he acts like, and he probably can't even fight. I wouldn't know because I haven't stood up to him yet under the bright lights. When the pressure is on and he's screaming profanities in my face, I bust out and run, and he gives chase. Same outcome, just a different place, and I've had just about all that I can take, and now it's time to demonstrate. This is the moment of truth, so here we go now, it's make or break. I closed my eyes and went for broke. Confronted my pesky enemy throwing blows, slammed him into the concrete and broke his nose. The vigilante spirit in me couldn't stop bashing his head in until I saw blood on his clothes, and then I woke up from my daydream to a reality that is so cold. Truth is, every single time I've encountered this bully, I froze up, always trying to talk myself out of it like, hold up, pick on somebody your own size, but he chooses me all the time because he can see the fear in my eyes. I'm always boosting his self-esteem up every time that he hears my cries, feeding his ego, and I'm trying to understand why. Do I psych myself up only to break all of my promises and lie? Man, I just wish that the coward inside of me would hurry up and die. Hurry up and teach me the lessons that I need to learn and wave goodbye. What makes it even worse is the lessons never change, is all I have to do is try. Dig deep and convince this bully that he won't choke to death from swallowing his pride. Dig deep and use psychology on a bully that's intellectually deprived. Even though I want to put on some football cleats and dig deep into his nose and eyes and repeat the words that Russian used when he killed Apollo Creed. If he dies, he dies. I'll just dig even deeper than that and locate that enemy that lives between my own eyes. All this time I've neglected the fact that the real bully always lived on the inside. But thank God that confidence does to your self-esteem what NWA did for the West Side. If I can just love myself a little bit more and strengthen my best side, walk around with my head held up high with some dignity and pride, because with dignity and pride, I'll be able to defeat any bully that lives on the outside and inside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The bully within, Jenson Mentor Cox. Man, what an awesome message in this particular song. And like I said, this song was creating buzz on social media, through a group that you and I both are a part of, the Anti-Bullying Zone. A shout out to Natasha Gunnell and everything that she is doing to raise awareness. Yes, everything she is doing to raise awareness, man, to bullying. And it was her. She was so excited, about this song. She had just gotten your CD set, man, Red Blue Pill, and she had posted it in the group and was like, oh, man, the bully within, you got to hear this song. And that's what caused me to reach out to you, man. And then just having an opportunity to hear this song a couple days ago, I'm going to tell you what, man, this song has really it really has touched home, man. Really reached some things, man, and it's just an amazing message. So tell us a little bit about the process in this song. So we're dealing with a bully, but then we realize that a lot of what we're dealing with is on the inside. So talk us through a little bit of the process of this song, man.
Yeah, the process and the purpose of it is to let everybody know that it happens to all of us. But the first bully that we will have to defeat is the one that's on the inside of us. Meaning, shed your light, be your truth, and be your own light. 9 times out of 10, when bullies select their victims, they prey on the weak. And if they can see weakness in your eyes, it's a high percentage that you get dealt with. So if we walk around, if you notice in the poem, I say, walk around with your head held up high, because with dignity and pride, we'll be able to defeat any bully that lives on the outside and inside. Meaning, the way you carry yourself can kind of let folks know as well, you know, that you're not a person to be messed up with. And it's like a shield of defense when folks can see that confidence in your demeanor, and to be assertive when you talk. Yeah. And, you know, you'll be able to defeat that bully first that lives on the inside.
Now, is this a personal experience for you? Have you or someone you are close to has experienced bullying in any kind of way?
Actually, I was born in the Bahamas, and when I came over, let's say around 4 or 5 years old, I had a very strong Bahamian accent. And in the ghetto parts of Miami, you know, that area right there, they were kind of picking on my accent. I got tortured a lot. You know, I got rocks thrown at me, but mainly all of the neighborhood kids used to pick on me. So I dealt with that a lot for a while. But it was because of my timid demeanor is what I learned. You know, I allowed myself to become a target. And it wasn't until I started being a lot more assertive with my speech, with my stance and all of that, did they finally back away from me when I was able to stand up to somebody.
So was there a mentor for you at that time? And, you know, could have been a parent or anyone at that time that helped you overcome that?
Well, all of my uncles were definitely strong men, and they didn't grab me and enable me or force me to fight back. What they did was show me, you know, how to walk with authority and to not let anybody run over me. And paying attention to how they carried themselves is how I learned.
Right. Man, that was a great point you just made about them not enabling you, but yet empowering you. You know what I mean? And I think that's a great point. That needs to be, you know, reiterated is, you know, it's not about, and I think, man, that's with anything, you know what I mean? That's with anything that we are definitely trying to teach those that, you know, are younger than us, whether it be our children or, you know, I mean, someone that we're mentoring. It's not about enabling, but it is about empowering. And I think, you know, it's very important that you had these strong men in your life that were able to, you know, bring you through that. And then, I mean, now you were able to express that in this awesome track, you know, with this awesome message. And I believe that, you know, it's going to help others that are dealing with that, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think that she spoke it in such a way, you know, that it was Chris McClean, man, let me just say this from the gate, man, that your voice, your inflection, your delivery, man, is just it's really awesome. And you know, I really enjoyed it, and I think that it's clear enough, man, and plain enough that it allows that message not to get lost in anything. You know what I mean? Which I think is so important today, and we talked about earlier about today's hip hop. And I think now today's hip hop, man, is, you know, more about the beat. You know, more about how many butts can get shaken, and man, they're not saying anything. You know, a friend of mine,
exactly. That was one of the reasons why, because I have tracks on the album that has beats attached to it, as well as tracks without beats, and certain tracks that I know have strong, powerful messages that need to hit home. I'm like, look, man, drop the beat. Folks need to hear this crystal clear, and I believe that I nailed it by not putting the beat on the Bully Within, because I wanted everyone to hear every detailed word.
And man, that's again is a great point. You know, once again, man, we're still talking about music. We're still talking about reaching people through our music. I have a buddy of mine. His name is Mark Cornelius Jackson. He's a rapper, and he has a record company. And their motto, the record company's motto, is where the message is louder than the music. You know, and you know, he still has strong beats. He still has strong music, strong tracks. However, at the end of the day, at the end of every song, you can reiterate what he said. You know, you can repeat everything that he said. Every song is positive. Every song, you know what I mean, has a message and is empowering. And you can repeat, you know, every single line instead of, man, I'm not sure what he said. Can we take that back? Can we hear that again? You know, and I think that's so important. And I'm glad that you said that, you know, you knew that there were some some of your songs, some of your poems that the message needed to definitely be bigger and more important than the music. So you said, hey, man, look, drop the beat, drop the track, man, and let's just flow with it. And you did that here with this particular song, with The Bully Within. You did that. No music, no background, nothing, man, just your voice bringing about what I see to be an amazing, empowering message, man. So, just great track all around, man. We need to pause right now for our Good News Report. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll be right back with more of Jenson Mentor Cox.
Tell us about the good news
Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Carol.
And this week's Good News Report comes from Austin, Texas.
That's right. A woman there named Stacy Zorn has been handicapped all her life. She started a car company called Community Cars, which is making a vehicle called the Kangaroo. It's like a smart car. It has a hatchback that rises from a remote control right on her wheelchair, and a ramp lowers. Then she rolls right in, and her wheelchair becomes a driver's seat, and she drives the car.
That's pretty cool.
It certainly is. And another cool thing about it is the car is an electrical vehicle. So not only is it sustainable for the handicapped driver, it's sustainable for our planet.
Wow. And what a great example of someone using their kind voice to make the world a kinder, more connected place.
It is. To see a video of this car in action, go to akindvoice.org/news. Now, you go out and make some good news this week so we can have something to report on for next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Tell us about the good news Tell yourself to be all that you can today. The Kind Voice Radio.
Welcome back to A Kind Voice on Music. Our show is part of the bigger mission of A Kind Voice, which is to make our world a kinder, more connected place, one conversation at a time. To fulfill our mission, we need lots of kind voices joining the conversation. So if you are a part of some good news or come across something good that you think should be shared on our good news segment, please go to www.akindvoice.org/news and let us know. Thank you very much. I'm your host, Kenny Fulton, here with Jenson Mentor Cox. I'm ready to jump into another track here. Hey, Jenson, all of these are off of the new album, is that correct?
Yes, all of this is off of the new album. It's a double disc album called Red or Blue Pill.
Yes. Man, listen, y'all need to go out and get this thing. Toward the end of the show, I'm going to have Jenson tell you everywhere where you can get it, how you can contact him, how you can get in touch with him, how you can reach him. Listen, you guys need to go out and get this thing. I'm going to get my hands on it as soon as possible. Just the tracks that he has given me to listen to have just been, man, they've been inspiring to me, empowering to me. And, it's why I wanted to bring Jenson onto the show, because I felt like everything that he's talking about definitely fits here in the mission of A Kind Voice on Music. And that brings us to the next song that I want to play, which is I'm the Mentor. Man, there's some really great things being said in this particular poem here. So I want you guys to listen very closely to what's being said. And we're going to talk a little bit about this after we come out of this. I'm the Mentor, Jenson Mentor Cox.
Making effective nationwide of realism. When everybody's watching, understand it's for a reason. When you're a natural born leader, this has the people believing and achieving the very thing that they never knew that they can do. Inspiration turned into adrenaline out of the blue. This greatness inside of you is certified contagious, and before you know it, here comes a brand new set of neighbors. The influence and responsibility of a mentor is major. You can either lead the people into safety or into danger. The third time's the charm, so my third album's in full throttle, and right off the bat, this track is creating more role models. Somebody has to create for the future leaders of tomorrow. Less pain and sorrow and more Confucius and Aristotle's. Life is about choices. You can pick up a Bible or a bottle. You can dig deep and go to work, or you can party like it's a carnival. Why be shallow on the inside and your exterior is phenomenal? I'd rather be powerful on the inside when I do the impossible. Ain't nothing stopping you. It's all space and opportunity. I've learned maturity every single time I bless you and me. I'm going in at all costs. A black man with everything to lose. Packing the antidote, the red or blue pill. You choose with your life. High school, college, as a professional coach, then you're a mentor. If you're a mother, father, a school teacher, then you're a mentor. If you're a cop, politician, or a preacher, then you're a mentor. A manager, a principal, or a commissioner, then you're a mentor. If you're a host or a doctor or a producer, then you're a mentor. A lawyer, lieutenant, or a superintendent, you're a mentor. A director, provider, or a firefighter, you're a mentor. A treasurer, architect, or a counselor, you're a mentor. Or stand in front of the club as a bouncer, you're a mentor. Even DJs and radio announcers is a mentor. Every inventor, entrepreneur, and founder is a mentor. When you find a real one, people just want to be around her. I'm so glad you took the time out to hear the sounds of a mentor rather than 24 hours of buffoonery booty music. Every gift you get from God, if you don't use it, you will lose it. That's R&B, hip-hop, gospel, jazz, and acoustic. That's second chances and survivors of lupus and cancer. I suggest you call on the Most High because we don't have all the answers. That makes you a mentor in my poetic book of knowledge. Tupac did mention that it will be all lives on you regardless. We'll shine your light on the world, you become a target, I promise. With problems piling up on you fatter than the hippopotamus. But bit by bit is how you eat an elephant until it's gone. Passionately spitting from the heart is how you change the world in one poem. Get your money from the start and make prosperity the norm. Finances is offense and defense in the battle of the storm. And the truth of the matter is you can't put everybody on, so just keep calm and let it marinate and hit home. To become a real mentor, you have to be able to stand alone. Only real mentors are able to stand alone. To become a real mentor, you have to be able to stand alone. Only real mentors have to be able to stand alone. Come on. Making effective nationwide teachings of realism. Of realism. Of realism.
Man, that piece right there needs to be everybody's theme song. That needs to be something we wake up to and go to sleep to. Like it's such a reminder, man, of who we need to be striving to be. And in that, man, all you're saying is being who we're meant to be, who we're called to be. Going back to the song Transform that talked about, the greatness inside and things like that, man. It kind of just leads from there into this, okay, so now that you have transformed, now that you've been through all of this, and now that you have, you've overcome and you've transformed into this, now understand that you're the mentor. So what does being a mentor mean to you, mentor?
Well, obviously, my name is an acronym. MENTOR stands for Making Effective Nationwide Teachings of Realism. So obviously a track like that is like my favorite song on the album, right? And I've learned that the trademark of all good leaders, every good teacher, every good sensei, every good master, the trademark of all of them, that what makes them great is to create more leaders. And if you're creating more leaders, then you're doing something effective. So music, the cool thing that what you can do with music is you can create chants. Like that I'm the mentor that's being chanted into the track is very hypnotic. Yeah. So I wanted to create something that have everybody say that to them in their heads to remind them to take responsibility. See, I remember back in the day a real famous commercial that Charles Barkley did where he reminded everybody, he said, I am not a role model.
Yes.
But I don't agree with that. I feel like in a position where he has millions of fans like that, Mr. Barkley, yes, you are a role model, whether you want to admit it or not. So that's what I wanted everybody to realize, that if you're a school teacher, if you are this, if you're that, if you're a policeman, a fireman, technically if you are in a position where you are, then you're a mentor. So I'm such a humble person. You know, I didn't want to just create a song that is about me. Like, at first you may think it's about me, but it's not about me. It's about everybody that's in position of leadership.
So there's no real age barrier. You know what I mean? There's no real, age difference when it comes to who can and, can't be, a mentor. So I think that's a great point, man. And I want to continue on that a little bit, but let's go ahead and take one more break, and then we'll get toward the close of the show. Let's take one more break real quick. We'll be right back with more Jenson Mentor Cox.
There's nothing wrong with reaching out when you need. I'll be there for you, and maybe you can be for me. With a kind voice, a few kind words, an open ear for when you need to be heard, a warm heart, we can make that choice to be a kind voice.
Hello, this is Susan Picking, and I'm using my kind voice to create a children's music CD called The School of Life. I'm asking for your support of my Kickstarter campaign, Making Music with Children in the School of Life. Google my name, Susan Picking, SusanPicking, and it'll come up on my website and the Kickstarter page. Help us spread the message of love, kindness, no bullying, diversity, being unique, and having fun. Music is a universal language and a powerful teaching tool for these messages. With exposure in the schools, it also gives us opportunity for kids to experience music, which is being cut out of curriculum. Music is important in child development, and it's just plain fun. Please support me, Susan Picking, on Kickstarter, Making Music with Kids in the School of Life.
A Kind Voice Radio.
Welcome back once again to A Kind Voice on Music. I'm your host, Kenny Fulton, here with the amazing Jenson Mentor Cox. The young lady that just spoke in the break right before we came back, Susan Picking, she was a guest on my show a few weeks back, and I connected with her through Kickstarter, and she is working on this album that she's trying to put together, talking to with children and the School of Life. And look, man, she's got a few days left on that campaign. I just want to drop that real quick. We had a great time with her on the show, and I just want to drop that real quick. Like she said, Google her name and find her on Kickstarter and help her complete this project. She's doing a great thing with children. So let's go ahead and help her finish off that project. Well, before we went to the break, Jenson and I were talking about what it means to be a mentor. And Jenson, you made a great point, which is something that a coworker of mine were talking about a couple of days ago, and that was the whole Charles Barkley, I'm not a role model campaign. And I clearly remember that back in the day. And even then when I saw that, I kind of shook my head. I mean, I understood the context he was trying to go, and he was trying to say that listen, don't put your children in front of me and expect me to be some type of example. Like, he was trying to really get the focus back on like the parents and things like that. Like, look, you be your child's own role model. However, I say that to say, however, just like you said, if you're in a position of influence, and that's something that I think that a lot of these athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, anybody that's in a public eye, I think that's something that they miss, or something that they lose focus on, is the fact that they are, in fact, in a place of influence. They are, in fact, being watched. And whether you like it or not, whether you want to be or not, you are going to be somebody's role model. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So that actually brings a great question to mind. What's the difference to you, Jenson, between a role model and a mentor?
Well, a mentor is definitely has a higher standard. The president of the United States is a mentor. A mentor takes on the responsibility of, like, a parent, even a father figure, somebody that has a direct influence. Now, a role model can be an athlete, a favorite actor or actress. These are people that just basically have to watch the things that they do in the public eye, because it creates a domino effect with our youth. See, our younger generation, we just emulate everything that we see the older ones do. So the generation, if they're following a lot of folks who are like say, for example, gangsters. For some reason, young folks are infatuated with gangsters. You know, believe it or not, they are role models. They're just leading people in the wrong way.
Oh, yes.
But an actual mentor is somebody that is a lot more hands-on.
Yes, yes. That's it, man. You hit it. I am in total agreement with you. I believe that a role model is more distant. But I believe that a mentor is definitely someone that is more hands-on. You know, I've heard people say that a mentor isn't someone whose advice you listen to, it's someone whose advice you follow. You know what I mean? So there's a difference between just someone giving you an advice and you going, okay, I hear that, but it's a whole different avenue to adhere to it and follow that advice. And I think that is what solidifies a mentor, you know what I mean, over a role model.
And it's what kept me coming out with albums. Like this is also my third album from Evolve. The name of my first album is called Evolve. And then True Reality is the name of my second album, where I combined the two words, truth and reality. And this is my first double disc album, my third album here. So I have a lot of poets in the South Florida community that, you know, when they look and see, you know, that my name is Mentor, I also want them to see a track record, a poet that's productive, that's not just, you know, coming to the microphone and performing, but somebody that has product.
Yes, and I think that's so important as well, you know, that you're going to put mentor, you know what I mean, in your name. You're going to take that on, you know, so therefore I think that there is a definite, like you said, a track record that you are obligated to leave because you're going to take on the name Mentor. So now there are those that are going to see that and they are expecting what he says he is about. And, you know, I think that's really important, man. I think it's important that we, you know, be about, you know, that, you know, the old saying, man, walk the walk, you know what I mean? Or what I like to say walk the talk, because I feel like we need to be able to walk out what it is that we're talking about. You know what I mean? How important is that to you, that you are literally being what it is that you say that you are?
Well, it separates the men from the boys. It separates the wannabes from, you know, the people who are actually have the obligation and responsibility. Like I said, these are the fathers. These are the community leaders. These are anybody that's in position of leadership must take on that responsibility. And for me, I know that it's a chapter in my life that I had to close, a life of crime, a life of drug abuse, a life of a thug life that I had to transform from in order to have people look at somebody and say, okay, this is the right person to follow. Because if I'm not doing that, then everything that I say, I can be as talented as they come. And none of it will stick if I'm not walking the walk.
Yes, that's it. That's it, man. Such a great point. You know what I mean? What does it mean to close that chapter to you? You know, you said you had to close that chapter to be able to move on. What does it mean to you to close that chapter?
Man, it feels like I actually have a new lease on life. Like today, I'm high off of life. And I have to stay busy. I can't just be complacent and going out, partying and enjoying myself 7 days a week, because what that would end up doing is pulling me right back into the reckless behavior that I used to be at. So I have a new lease on life today, man. And that alone is very motivating. And it's once you have proteges, so to speak, under you, it's a constant reminder. It's a daily reprieve. They're always pushing me and encouraging me to be the best mentor that I can be, and to also make sure that Jenson Cox is all right, because if Jenson Cox doesn't have his feet up from under him, you know, we can't get caught up too much also in titles. You know, we can live out a title, but, you know, that government name, we're that person first. You know. We can't let our stage name or something like that get to our heads. Like you're Kenneth Fulton, and you know who that person is. No matter if somebody wants to call you Superman or whatever, you know, you have to be Kenny Fulton first.
Oh yes, definitely. It's interesting you said Superman, because that's who that's who my friends call me. So interesting man. That was the first thing that came from your mouth, man. That's what my friends call me. But you're so right, man. At the end of the day, you know what I mean. And and we wear many different hats. You know what I mean. I'm a son, a husband, a father, a grandfather. You know what I mean. And we wear so many different hats. But I like what you said. I mean, man, look, that goes back to every song that we played, tonight, every part that we played tonight, back to the bully within, remembering who you are, you know what I mean, beyond every title, you know what I mean, beyond every position that we may hold is just remembering your name. And I love that, remembering your name. I think that's so great in essence. And that's why I deem it important, man, that, and I'm going off script just a little bit here, when a name is placed on a child, I think it's so important that that name holds some meaning. You know what I mean? And I think that when a child gets a certain age, they should understand what their actual name, what their given name means. Because when you talk about remembering, go ahead, man, say that. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's so much in the name. Like, for example, I grew up in the hood, man. We have like a lot of parents, they'll call their child Doo-Doo. They'll be like, well, come here, Doo-Doo.
Yes.
Well, at 3 years old, if this is what he's answering to, as he gets 6, 7 years old, this child could possibly suffer from a low self-esteem once he figures out exactly what doo-doo is. You see what I mean?
Right.
So it's a lot in the name, and we have to make sure that even our nicknames it's not what you're called to, but it's what you answer. It's what you answer to.
I like that.
That makes a world of a difference.
Yes, sir. I like that. I heard an amazing name just a few weeks ago. It was a baby, and the baby's name is Adewale. It's an African name, but the name means he that brings wealth home. And I thought that was just, I was like, whoa, and I remember the gentleman that was talking about the baby. He said, man, I'm changing all my kids' names now. It was just, man, I thought that name was so heavy, and just going back to what you said about just remembering your name, man. I would repeat that name to that child all the time, to let the child know, listen, this is who you are, man. This is what you are. And like you said, man, you made a great point. It's not about what you're called; it's about what you answered. And I think that's just great, man. So as we close out, man, who is Mentor's inspiration? Who do you look up to? Whether it's in the rap game, the music game, spoken word.
Actually, he picked up a Grammy or Oscar or something like that. Common.
He got an Oscar last night.
He has a track that I've been listening to over and over again for a couple of years. It's called The People, and it's on his B album.
Okay.
And man, the video to that album, he's basically walking around the inner cities of Chicago, and he's giving random folks hugs.
Oh wow!
The teller behind the counter, the bum laying down on the side of the street, the single parent, the cab driver. He's not in the car. It's nothing flashy. He's walking around everywhere, man. And he made a point saying, "I'm keeping my eyes on the people. That's the prize." And to see that he won an award on a grand scale is just proof. It's proof that ignorant music does not always have to flourish. Like, you don't always have to be a Young Thug or a Lil Wayne or a Young Jeezy to pick up these Grammy Awards, because that's the misconception that our young generation has today. So to see, I can't exclude John Legend as well. Both Common and John Legend share the award, and it was amazing to see, and it was motivating for artists like me. And what you're doing with your Blog Talk Radio show, A Kind Voice for Music, artists like me was looking for something like you, basically. And I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're the platform for us.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm here to do, man, and I'm always so grateful for this position, man. And I thank the people at A Kind Voice. My program director and all those that are involved, those that had confidence enough to bring me on, and give me this time, give me, this moment to bring artists on, man. And I'm so grateful, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, it's artists like you that make this so easy. You know what I mean? There's no challenge here. you know what I mean, when I have an artist like you come on, and like, man, you fell in my lap. You know what I mean, man? These past few days, man, you fell in my lap, man.
Good news is we have other opportunities. You know, we have more shows to continue this connection. I have another album, a second album called Truality that you haven't even heard yet. I mean, it's a lot of music inside of me, man, and I'm just happy to share it with the world and positive, inspiring, uplifting. That's what I'm about.
That's what we need, man. That's what we need. That's the mission here. You know, at A Kind Voice, it's definitely to bring that positivity because, like you said, man, there's a lot of mess out there. There's a lot of bad going on in the world and all that, man. But, you know, to be able to focus on the positive things, to be able to, you know, redirect some of that attention, you know, to something positive, to something inspiring, something empowering, you know, then if I can provide that platform for an artist that's doing that, then I'm doing my job. You know, this is not a job, man. This is fun for me. This is enjoyment for me, you know, to have someone like you on, man. So let's talk about Red Blue Pill, man. Tell my listeners, man, your fans, those that are tuned in, where they can get this amazing double disc set.
I have 2 release parties. One is going to be an actual hard copy release party, which is March the 13th at the Party Hall, located in South Miami. But the official online release for the iTunes and Amazon and all of that would be March the 2nd. That would be on a Monday. And the price would be $15. It was originally going to be $20, seeing that it's 2 discs. Spoken word CDs in general sell for $10. But I'll cut the folks a break, and instead of it being for $20, I'll set it for $15. And this would be March the 2nd. On Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook at Jenson Mentor Cox. You can follow me on Instagram at Jen Mentor Cox, one word. And also follow me on Twitter at Jenson Truality Cox. And you can also email me at jenmentorcox@hotmail.com.
Well, there you have it. And listen, I tell you guys every week, you need to be connected to me through Facebook, Kenneth J. Fulton. You can connect with me on Twitter. That's at The Disciple76. And even on Instagram at The Disciple76. These amazing artists like Jenson Mentor Cox, I'm connected with. He and I are connected through Facebook. Let's become friends and then find Jenson and friend him. You know, follow me on Twitter, find Jenson and follow him. Find me on Instagram, find Jenson and follow him. So, you know, listen, you guys can definitely use me as an avenue. March the 2nd, guys, let's get out to iTunes and wherever else this CD is going to be, and let's blow him up, man. Listen, $15 is not a whole lot of money for great music, for a good message, for a good positive message, man. $15 is nothing for something that's going to inspire you, something that's going to empower you, something that's going to just give you an overall good feeling and drive you to be all that you are called to be. So listen, Jenson, I want to thank you so much, man, for being on the show. Like I said, man, you've made my job easy. I will continue to do this here, man. I would love to have you back on at some point. Let's talk again. Let's feature some more of your poems, man. Some more of your amazing music. Some more of your amazing messages. Let's have you on again. And let's continue to push the agenda, man, which is to get artists like yourself out there, to get them this platform, so that we can continue to connect, man. That's all we're doing, is we're making this world a kinder, better place, man. One conversation at a time. So I just want to thank you so much, Mentor, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Shout out to all of the fans and the people who believed in me from day one. Shout out to, the churches that believed in me. Shout out to just everybody that helped me out along the way, because I definitely could not have been there without all of you. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and thank you. And, man, one more shout-out to Natasha Gunnell, man, and all that she's doing with the Anti-Bullying Zone, man. Let's check it out as well on Facebook, Anti-Bullying Zone on Facebook. Just a tremendous mission that she's doing, man. And like I said, man, it was her talking about the Bully Within song, man, that got me connected to Jenson. So check her out as well, and all that she's doing on Facebook as well, man. Another great cause.
Much love to Natasha Noguera.
Yes.
Love
She's
you,
sharing
Natasha.
her kind voice, man. She's sharing her kind voice trying to make the world a better, kinder place. So listen, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in, for listening, for giving Jenson Mentor Cox your ear, for listening. Once again, check him out March 2nd. The CD is called Red or Blue Pill, and let's blow him out, man. So I want to thank you guys again for listening. This has been A Kind Voice on Music. I'm your host, Kenny Fulton. See you again next time.
Hello, fellow soldier, how's your day? Come take my arm, let's walk and sink away. I want to know your thoughts now, yes it's true. And that bluebird, he flew by now just for you. Just step outside, you don't know who you'll meet. Let go, come link elbows with me. Just know that I am there for you, to hear your voice, to care, to lend a hand. In this moment, we will work together and turn a new kind stranger to a friend. Walk down that lonely road alone, searching for a place to call home. The path is long, we cannot see the end, but the journey's so much better with a friend. Come to my house and rest those weary bones. Drink and laugh, we'll both refill our souls. That cup of cheer you're drinking sure tastes sweet. I'm glad that your acquaintance sided me. Ooh, and you know that I am there for you, to hear your voice, to care, to lend a hand. In this moment, we'll work together to turn a new kind stranger to a friend. Ooh, and you know that I am there for you, to hear your voice, to care, to lend a hand. In this moment, we'll work together to turn a new kind stranger to a friend.